All right, I'm in a special place with a mystery box, all right? We're gonna try to figure out the value of what's in this box right here. Louis Vuitton, could be anything. I'm in a very affluent place. Take a look around, all right? This is New York City. That's Central Park over there. I'm in a very expensive apartment. This apartment is valued at around $120 million. Don't ask me how I got in here, but I'm here, okay? And I've got this box. Don't ask me who this is, but I'm gonna show you what's inside. We're gonna talk about value. We're gonna talk about business. We're gonna talk about money. We're gonna talk about a few things, okay? So let's take a look. Let's guess the value. Is it 500,000, 100 million, 5 million, 2 million? It could be any of those figures. Let's take a look and let's explore what's in the box, okay? So first and foremost, we pop it open. We get that done. And we have a beautiful collection of ladies' jewelry, okay? There's no Traxnyc pieces here. These are all Cartier, Van Cleef, and a variety of different high-end manufacturers. And we're going to talk exactly what that is. Let's start off with this Hermes. There's a lot of bangles in here. Van Cleef, Cartier. And then you've got this beautiful Bulgari. Out of all of these, the most expensive one is this one right here, okay? Let's take a look at it up close so we can see the diamond color, the settings. This is their snake bracelet. This piece by itself, $70,000. What's amazing about this is the mechanism that allows you to stretch it. It's not super complicated, all right? You don't want to give it any more credit than it's worth, but it is really, really well done. And it's got beautiful mother of pearl, all the diamonds that Van Cleef and all these people use, Cartier. It's all VVS, D-color. All right, they wouldn't use anything less. $70,000 is a lot for a piece of jewelry like this. It's a status symbol. People who live in places like this, they want to get pieces. They would like to shop Bulgari. They're in competition with one another, so they buy stuff like that. All right, so some Cartier piece like this, 18 karat gold. It's a heavy piece, $50,000. Okay, let's remember a kilogram of gold in 24 karat. Pure kilogram would be around 40,000. So you think about that for a second. All right. Now let's take a look at some more Van Cleef right here. These are extremely popular necklaces. Let's take a look at all of them. All right, they're about $10,000 a piece, other than this diamond one, which is around 30,000. Okay, this is a wood one. You don't want to take a shower with this one because the wood's gonna warp, gonna destroy the bracelet. And even though somebody spent maybe $5,000 for it, I don't think Van Cleef is gonna fix it up for them for free, but you know, that's the type of service they provide, whatever. Buccellati right here. This is another very famous high-end exquisite designer, Buccellati. I really like this piece because of the gold work, all right? This is done by hand. It's really, really beautiful, really, really exquisite. So right now we're already looking at, I don't know, 70,000 plus this, 150,000. Couple of these bangles, it's already up to, just what I'm looking at is already up to $1 million. Take a look at this. Is Bulgari's signature setting right here, okay? They're the best in the business, all right? But so they basically take different size stones, set them in a beautiful pattern. That's something that their trademark. It's more or less one of their signature pieces. And I love the setting. I think it's immaculate, but it's not something extraordinarily special. So we're going to talk about where the value comes from, okay? Where the value comes from on these pieces. Because if you wanted this, you're not going to get it for any cheaper than $70,000. You could kick and scream. You could try to make it in your basement, but you're not going to make it for anything $70,000. Because it's a signature piece, it's a Bulgari piece, and you can only get it from Bulgari. I can manufacture it, I can make an identical one, but it won't be a Bulgari. And we'll talk about the materials and what could be done on that end later, all right? Let's go on another level, all right? We're putting this aside. There's still a lot of immaculate pieces. One of my favorites right here. A ring like this, it's moving a little bit. It's supposed to be like that. It's really, really nice. But, oh, look at this one right here. So, rubies, it's an immaculate setting as well. It's got chocolate diamonds underneath, and it's got this beautiful little spacing, so you could size the ring and adjust it to your finger without cutting it. That's what these are for. All right, that's actually a pretty good feature because you don't want to cut these rings to size them. But then on the other hand, a perfect fit is a perfect fit. So let's put this on the side. and let's take a look at this. So let's start with the most expensive item here, and that's this one. This to me is the most impressive timepiece from Van Cleef that I've seen. It's extremely expensive with a python band. Look at the setting on this, all right? Look at the quality of the diamonds. Let's take a close look at these beautiful cuts. All right, I believe they're Asher cuts. Okay, so this watch right here is over $250,000. All right, extremely expensive item. Look at the diamond setting behind the glass on the dial. So this is, to me, one of the most impressive items because it's not something I could recreate. It's something that, you know, it would take just an extremely long amount of time to find the cuts of these stones to match, and the setting on them is really, really immaculate. This piece as a jeweler is really, really impressive. Okay, another impressive piece that I really like, this hidden watch from Van Cleef right here with the hidden piece. Very, very beautiful. All right, another expensive item. I don't know exactly how much it is. This bracelet is vintage. Okay, look at the cuts on that. These are not regular brilliant cut diamonds. They're more like a pineapple cut. So as far as vintage pieces, this one really takes the cake. It's really, really immaculate, really, really amazing. Fits the decor around here on an affluent place like this. This is something that they would really, really want to own. But everything in this box is, you know, for aristocracy, really. This is a vintage Cartier. Okay, I don't know the value on this. I've never really seen this Cartier before. It's got 3 chronographs. The chronographs are upside down. The name of the watch is at the bottom. Vintage piece, really high end. You're not gonna find this anywhere either. And one of my favorites, along with the rest of this, is this Patek Philippe with the moon phase. All right, it's what they call a complication. So a complication is exactly what it sounds like. It's a difficult mechanism to manufacture, and the more complications a watch has, the more expensive it is. So let's talk about the value here. The value is, from what I could tell, around $2 million in this box. Okay, $2 million in this box. Now, the way I estimate things is the scrap value as well. Now, the scrap value is nowhere near $2 million. It's got a lot of gold in it. That's good. It's got a lot of diamonds in it. That's also good. But, you know, the gold, like I always say, the bank buys, the diamonds, you got to find a buyer. It would be absurd to scrap this. But let's say I say it's $2 million and you, you know, you don't want to scrap it like this piece right here. I don't know what it is. It looks Indian. It's definitely expensive. All right, but it's not something you're going to scrap. You're not going to melt this down and get a value out of it. It has a value, and you have to find a buyer, and that is the high-end value out of all the stuff you're looking for. If someone wanted to take that value out, they'd have to find a buyer. Not that difficult to find a buyer for these pieces, but it's a big gap between the scrap. Why do I say that? Well, you know, from our jewelry company where we manufacture jewelry, I like to keep the price of the jewelry a hell of a lot closer to the scrap value so people could keep their money, all right? It's, you know, if I was manufacturing something like this and I was selling it to you, I'd probably sell it to you for no more than $20,000. Even with the DVVS and everything else and the mechanism and the spring and something like that. Van Cleef charges $70,000. Why? Or Bulgari actually charges $70,000. Why do they charge $70,000? Well, you know, people want to burn their money. They want to spend it. They want to buy something. They want to go to a place where just the rent is $70,000 a month, and the people are dressed in suits, and they're wearing white gloves, and they're doing this and they're doing that. And when the people buy something like this, they pay all of that premium, all right? So when you're shopping at Traxnyc.com for some custom ring or a chain or my pendant, which I should be wearing right now, you're paying more of a realistic price. That doesn't mean that this is not worth what it says, because someone rich and affluent that lives in this place or their next door neighbor is going to want to spend that $70,000 or whatever it is. So you took a look at the content of this box. It's roughly about $2 million and maybe about $200,000 in scrap. All right, $250,000 in scrap. That's a pretty big premium, but no way in hell anybody would melt this. You'd be able to get your money out of it if you owned it. if you found private buyers or put it on auctions or something along those lines, if you had the paperwork or you didn't have the paperwork. The bottom line is that this apartment, this jewelry, the gold, the diamonds, they all tell a story of value and price. Okay, and I'm trying to teach you guys how that works. Jewelry is a great thing to own. That's why people who live in places like this, they own it. All right, you know, there's a scrap value, there's a value in just the whole piece, something like this, and something like whatever else you're looking at. So that's that. That's me. I got to get out of here before the security goes off, and you know, I get caught. No, I'm just kidding. All right, but that's us from Traxnyc. Don't forget to visit traxnyc.com for all your jewelry needs. I'm telling you exactly what it is. I'm telling you exactly how the jewelry business works. So I hope you'd enjoy this little mystery box.